Let's turn to President-elect Donald Trump. Speaking to reporters for the first time in a wide-ranging news conference today since the election, he talked to the press about everything from, in a 90-minute remarks, everything from this $100 billion investment in the U.S. from Japanese telecommunications company, then talking about the war in the Middle East, presidential pardons and drones, the effectiveness of vaccines. His nominee to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., was on Capitol Hill today. Our Selena Wang asked Trump about RFK Jr.'s personal lawyer petitioning the FDA to revoke approval of the polio vaccine.
Thanks for President Trump. What about the polio vaccine?
Well, I'm a big believer in it, and I think everything should be looked at, but I'm a big believer in the polio vaccine.
Do you think schools should mandate vaccines? Do you think schools should mandate vaccines?
I don't like mandates. I'm not a big mandate person.
Alex Prochet live on Capitol Hill for more. Alex, RFK Jr. there on the Hill today. This is a marathon week of meetings, more than 24 senators. What do we know about how these meetings are going so far and the receptiveness toward him?
Well, Elizabeth, I mean, he's just getting started. I'm looking at the clock right now, 4:30. He's just beginning that second meeting with Senator Ron Johnson. He wrapped up a meeting with Florida Senator Rick Scott earlier, and this is the second of 4 today. But on the way in, you saw RFK Jr. In that crush of reporters all asking questions. The chief among them are his views on vaccines, specifically the polio vaccine. And our team on the Senate side, including our colleague Mary Bruce, got a chance to ask him a question about that. Take a listen.
Mr. Kennedy, do you believe in the polio vaccine? What do you say to Americans who are worried you're going to take away their vaccines, Mr. Kennedy?
Should the polio vaccine be revoked?
You're all for it?
What about the childhood vaccine?
Yeah, so it was a little hard to hear him there, but he did say, I'm all for the polio vaccine, really kind of doubling down on a message that we heard from President-elect Trump earlier today, talking about his advocacy for the polio vaccine. He referenced that he had a number of friends who had suffered from polio that got the vaccine. It was knocked out. It's also something that we've heard from the transition team, that RFK Jr. is a supporter of the polio vaccine, that he's fully vaccinated for the COVID-19 vaccine. But the reason that we're hearing all this messaging, Elizabeth, is because there was a little bit of a telegraph the end of last week by Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who is a polio survivor. He still suffers with some of the complications from that illness to this day. And regarding the questions around RFK Jr.'s support of the polio vaccine, McConnell had a pretty strongly worded response saying that any efforts to undermine public confidence in proven cures are not just uninformed, they're dangerous, and anyone seeking the Senate's consent to serve in this incoming administration would do well to steer clear of even the appearance of association with those such efforts. And so clearly this is an opportunity and an attempt by this incoming administration to change that narrative.
No doubt about that. Alex Prochet tracking it for us today on Capitol Hill. Thank you.